There'll be enough people out there somewhere,
It's
brother.
it's not a place to find
Yeah,
absolute truth. So you're with Ed. Ed, what's your last name?
My name's Ed Martin.
Ed Martin, and you're with what group?
Well, I work with the Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, an organization based in St. Louis. We have an office here up on the hill. We do conservative policy and politics. We're in both.
And so you said earlier that you are a believer, you're a Christian.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of these kids in this group, these are college-age kids. A lot of these kids are Christians also.
Yeah, we don't deny. We don't say don't come if you're not a Christian. But most of the kids that are drawn to us are believers.
They're
conservative and believers, and obviously we witness to that too. We begin and end with prayer and talking about why God created us and what we're headed to glory with Him. So.
Are you based in Washington, D.C.?
Our organization is based in St. Louis, but we have an office right off behind the hill.
Okay, what's going on here? How hard is it to be a Christian in this city, in this capital?
We just had a talk. In fact, of all the people, Rand Paul came and spoke to the kids, and one of the things he challenged them, he said, you can't censor yourself as to the truth. Now, he's talking about politics and things, and I would say the hardest part for believers is the culture's beating you down, and so you say, well, I know what the Lord's called me to, I know what He's informed me, but I don't want the trouble, and so you self-censor, and it's tough. It's tough in this town, it's tough in politics.
What do you mean you self-censor?
People hold back, right? They're afraid. They don't even know they're afraid. They don't say to themselves, hey, I'm afraid to do this. It's easier not to bring it up. It's easier not to stand on a street with a microphone and talk to people. It's just, and in this town, that's what the culture here does to people. It makes them hold back on the truth. They know the truth. They're there, but they hold back.
So these young kids, man, so they're probably fresh, wide-eyed, and like we can make a difference. And,
yeah.
And so you've seen, obviously, we just said, you've seen other kids or other people get beaten down and hold back like that, be self-censor, like you said. So we're here, obviously, Supreme Court steps.
Yep.
And what is truth? So when I'm talking to people on the street so far today, we're talking to folks, and we say, do you believe in absolute moral truth? Well, no, it's very subjective. Everyone has their own truth. You can't impede and judge someone else like that. And so it's a very, people they just don't get truth.
Right.
Supreme Court, I asked one of the kids, they said that, I think it's a majority of conservatives on the Supreme Court right now?
Yeah, sort of, 5-4, sort of. Yeah, technically. Yeah. I'm not sure it's conservative enough, but go ahead, yeah.
Okay, so legislation for morality, like I couldn't believe the stuff we saw this year. A baby's born, make it comfortable, and then decide whether or not we're going to terminate it.
Yeah.
So things like that are happening in our culture, that are infanticide and just all the marriage issues, and it's like, what's going on?
Well, one of the problems is when we lose our moorings, whether it's in the Word of God or in our founding documents. The Declaration of Independence is an explicitly religious document about not self-evident from you and me. Think it's self-evident from God, right? From a creator. And so if you unhinge yourself from the founding documents, then you unhinge like when you unhinge yourself from the Word. Unhinge yourself from the Word. You're pretty smart. We're all pretty smart, but we're unhinged, right? And you're flopping around, and that's the biggest thing. These young people, they've been taught too often. A lot of times they have good schools, some are home schools and all. Patrick Henry, we mentioned some of these places, but if they're unhinged from the teaching, the real education, then truth is relative and it flops all around. And then once you're unhinged, we're all fallen, right? We're all just fallen sinners. And if you're unhinged from the truth, you're going to go for all the kinds of things that we've seen, whether it's knowledge or all the other.
It's unbelievable. It's almost like, are you think you're taking crazy pills watching this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
So, have you seen the movie by Kirk Cameron called Monumental?
I have not. I like Kirk Cameron. I like him, but I haven't seen it, no.
Okay, so it's a documentary called Monumental, and Kirk Cameron, he walks the steps of the Puritans, tells the story, religious freedom coming here. Yep. And then there's actually the largest single granite piece statue is in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and it's in a neighborhood, and it's like in a cul-de-sac. Right? There's no park rangers there, and it shows the Christian foundations, the biblical foundations for our country, and it's Lady Liberty, and it's truth, and it's justice, and all the everything you would see, all the accoutrements for truth and justice are on there, and you had to say ignored, and you see all this stuff. So, what do you say to young people these days? I mean, you've got kids who are outspoken. They're conservative. You said most of them are Christian, but just from a Christ's sake ambassador perspective, how do you reach kids these days?
I'll tell you what. I started out today's session. We began just an hour ago. We'll have 2.5 days of about 200 college age, some high school age kids. And the thing I said is, you'll meet people that say, I'm just going to worry about myself. But I'm going to worry about myself and my family. But that's not what we're called to be. You can't put your light under a bushel basket. I mean, we've been told that, And so the point I tell these kids is, it's not easy always, but you can't put your light in a bushel basket. You can't do it. You're called to do more, salt and light and all. And so the challenge is to get them bucked up. You got, like anything else, like when you're getting ready for a sports game or a speech, you got to get people fired up. And then the other thing is, it's the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. It's among us. You got to be together with people. So part of the reason you saw as kids walk by to go on these tours and socialize is get solidarity with others and be together among each other, and then you have to go flourish. And it's a challenge though, and the world is just whipping in besides them with all the negative stuff. It's unbelievable.
I was reading a book by Sean McDowell, Josh McDowell's son. It's called Apologetics for New Generation, and there's one of the chapters in there. He's saying that you can have all the right answers, all the apologetics, all the science and logic and philosophy you want that makes sense and is true. But people aren't accepting it is because there's a lack of connection and trust with somebody.
Right.
And just because God built us that way, if we're not connecting with them, they're not going to receive it no matter what. But I love what you're doing. You're connecting the kids. You're giving them solidarity.
Well, let me tell you, I stole that line. John Ashcroft, the famous Attorney General, I was driving with him when he told me that. I said, do you like to teach? He said, I only like to teach when I can go on a campus for 2 weeks at a time because I believe that wisdom is passed. And he said, because the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, that you have to be together. And I think that it didn't say where two or more tweet together, I'll be there. It says where two or more are together in my name, there'll be prayer, right? I mean, and that's what we have to. That's the problem. You watch these kids. These ones are pretty good, but most kids, they sit there, they're on their phone, and you're on your phone 2 feet away, right? So we got to get the connection, and our church has got to step up. What I worry about most is not the kids. I worry about where's the leaders. Where's the dynamic, charismatic leaders that
the
give
William
vision.
Wilberforces of the
That's
world.
That's it. Yeah. Where's that guy, man? I mean, it's not. It's wonderful that we have political leaders. That's not sufficient for people's feeding, right? We need that. We need William Wilberforces. We need revivals. And I like Franklin Graham fine, but he's not Billy Graham filled a space in the community that everybody feels smaller. It's partly technology and all, but I worry about the leaders. I worry about the leaders.
Yeah, we really appreciate your
time,
time,
brother.
Ed. All right,
tell me your name again.
Eric.
Hey everybody, Carl Kirby here. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, check out one of these other videos. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel and visit our website at rforh.com. Adios.